to help our men. Once we educate the general public, not only in this nation but worldwide, to the true fact that these men are in fact not being treated the way Hanoi would like to paint the picture, then I believe public pressure will be brought to bear upon Hanoi, and they will be shown up for the dishonesty. We tell the world, we have not heard, we do not know. Please just let us know if our husbands or sons are alive. This is so little to ask.
I've gone to see Senator McGovern since he has been to Paris and has talked with the North Vietnamese. I've written to Secretary General U Thant at the UN, and I have written to Juan Thuy several times. I've not received a reply.
One of my most recent letters to Senator Fulbright, I said, last summer I wrote to you asking for an appointment with you and expressing the idea that the most vociferous critics of the war had very probably lengthened the war. Possibility of release for the prisoners. At that time, you refused to see me on the grounds that my idea was so preposterous, and that was his phrase, that visiting with me would serve no purpose. We're going back in hopes of finding the information that we originally went there seeking. On September 17th, the North Vietnamese promised to send us letters regarding our husbands' status and well-being. We have not to date received those letters. We still want to know about our husbands. We want to know what we can tell our children concerning their fathers.
Well, yes, at the beginning, the real rough treatment came at first when they were trying to get military answers from you. And then after that, they tried to, force you into appearing before these delegations to say that you had received humane treatment. And they would, throw rocks at you and hit you. And one of the they dislodged a filling, but and then once I got to the camp, they refused to give me medical treatment, saying that I was going to die in 4 hours if I didn't give them information. I just finally passed out. The North Vietnamese tried to get Lieutenant Commander Stratton to appear before a press delegation and say that he had received humane and lenient treatment. He refused because his treatment hadn't been humane. He had been tied up to ropes, with ropes to such a degree that he still has large scars on his arms from the rope burns which became infected. He was deprived of sleep, beaten, had his fingernails removed, and put in solitary, but the North Vietnamese insisted that he make the false humane treatment statements and threw him into a dark cell alone to think about it for 38 days. I feel a strong obligation to the men back there. They know that I'm going to come back here and tell the truth, and that's what they wanted.
great free debate of all time surfaced in the United States, and the country gave birth to 100 voices in universities, in town halls, on television, and in Washington.
I'm opposed to this war not only because it is morally and legally wrong, but because I think it is destroying the good name and the leadership of the United States. Furthermore, I believe that the war is militarily unwinnable. If we should succeed in bombing Vietnam to rubble, we will only find ourselves up against the Chinese.
Look, what I could do with is more compassion and more sympathy with those tens of thousands of civilians in South Vietnam who have been killed and kidnapped by the Viet Cong and North Vietnamese forces as a matter of deliberate policy. And the far larger tens of thousands of South Vietnamese military who've been killed and wounded simply because North Vietnam is trying to seize South Vietnam by force.
I lost a really dear friend over there, and all of a sudden it brought it home to me. And I began wondering, what are we doing over there? Is this what honor is all about? Is it worth it? And I don't think it is.
All of us tend to place a greater value on our own people. But can you really draw a line as to whether it's worth one American life if that by saving that American life you subject probably thousands of Vietnamese to death? Human life is human life.
We believe that this war is illegal from every point of view, completely immoral, and I would like to